For everybody listening, everybody that's seeing me right now knows exactly what's about to come. And if you want to not only hear the podcast, but see me too, come join me on YouTube, as actually our YouTube channel name has just changed to She is a Leader. More about that in a little bit. For everybody watching, you already can see this is another solo episode as I am comfy on my couch with my fluffy blankets. Also, you can never have enough fluffy blankets. Let's just... So, this is episode 100. And it is interesting to see just how much I've been thinking about this episode now probably for the last 2 months as we've been leading up to episode 100. And there have been a lot of plans of what I was going to do with this. I initially was going to have guests on, recorded in the studio. There were all kinds of ideas floating around for episode 100. And as life so wanted is, life happens when you are making plans. And over the last 2 weeks, a lot of things have completely changed in my life, in my business, and so will in the podcast. So as I already mentioned, the YouTube channel name, and you're also going to see it on social media, the names have changed from Boss Your Business to She is a Leader. And that is a full circle moment for me, because interestingly enough, the first time I stated my mission, what I want to accomplish with Ask Evie, why am I building Ask Evie and why I'm doing what I'm doing, was on a podcast. It was a full-on, in-the-moment download with full-on goosebumps, tearing up, all the things. And what I said in that, and it's probably been, maybe it's been like a year at least, maybe even 2 years ago, that on a podcast, and I don't even remember which podcast it was, I stated that I want to build a business and a nonprofit. I want to build a business that supports women turning their passion into profit, that allows them to create their own freedom of choice. What do I mean by that? There is so many women, and me, past me included, that had to make decision based on their bank account, based on what money and their bank account determined they can do or can't do. Money also comes with a certain level of safety. If you have the security of money, you can show up differently, you can speak differently, because you know telling a client to go fuck off because it's a misogynistic asshole, you don't have to worry about how to pay your bills because you have money in the account. It allows a complete different freedom of choice. So with that, I stated on that podcast, I want to build Ask Evie into an educational company that helps women turn their passion into profit and what they know and love into an income, by giving them the educational resources they need to do so. Because there's so many resources out there, so many processes, so many workflows. It's all out there, but there is not one central educational company that helps women do so. I haven't found any. If you found one, pop it in the comments. Now, the problem with the educational company is, cool, the resources are there, but not every woman is able to financially commit to do such a thing. It takes a year to get to a point where you've learned all the things you've learned when you're starting from zero, It takes a year to learn all the things you need to learn to build the business, to set up the business, to market the business, to establish yourself, to build a network, to do all the things. And often enough, I'm talking about women that are struggling. They might be in an abusive relationship. They physically or mentally, they might be single moms struggling to make ends meet, not having the time to be able to put any time into education, all the things, right? So the second arm of my mission and my goal is the nonprofit that also has physical locations. So the idea of the nonprofit is to get all of the reasons why not out of the way. The nonprofit also owns physical locations, having the bottom area of the building be an educational space, being a co-working space, taking care of business on the lower level. And then the upper level are living quarters in a community setup, community kitchen, you got your own room, low income housing for women that want to get out of a situation they feel like they can't get out of. Working with local farmers, supporting local farmers with getting food on the table, bringing in childcare to make sure single moms have their children taken care of, that when they are working to bring money in or they're educating themselves, they have the resources they need to be able to do so without having to worry about their child. So it becomes this full-on circle of educating women how to turn their passion into profit and giving them the resources they need to do so. And that vision came through me and just fully downloaded in a podcast again a year or two ago. And behind the scenes, things have more and more evolved into this. And throughout my podcast, where you've seen I've brought on more and more women and less men. Okay, let's set something straight here. I am not out to fight the patriarchy. Hear me out. Yes, there is issues. Yes, there is misunderstandings. Yes, there is reasons for us to put a focus on female-owned business and women. Here's how I look at life and here's how I look at issues. Nothing is ever black and white. Everything always happens in a gray zone. And it doesn't matter if it is female issues, it doesn't matter if it is people of color issue, it doesn't matter if it is LGBTQ plus issues. Issues seem to happen always in the same way. They are completely over on one side, they are then completely over on the other side, and at some point they finally level out. Human nature, it's just what it is. And I am here to be that centerpiece. I am not saying how life is right now for women is how it should be. Not in the slightest. I live in the States. We have some major fucking issues here. And I will point out issues. I am not here to take a baseball bat to everybody that is not female. I want to educate, I want to call out issue, and I want to bring in solutions. I am not here to burn everything down. There is so many men out there that are amazing, that are supportive, that are educational to us. I do not want to dismiss them. Especially, you're going to see on LinkedIn a lot of things also happening where I will be showcasing people. There has been a lot of collection posts on LinkedIn, and it's like, you're just fucking promoting men. I want to promote women. There is so many smart, amazing women out there in so many different areas. But I am also not going to make those lists just women. We want to be inclusive, so let's be inclusive to everybody and look at the people and not just their color and their gender. I want to be fully inclusive. So Rant end. Going through 100 episodes of Boss Your Business, part of the conversation that happened behind the scenes when I started telling my guests, this is what I want to do. I do not want to focus just on the thing you are selling. Now, yes, I want to promote you. You are amazing at what you do. I want to promote you, but that's not what I want to focus on. I want to focus on your story. I want to focus on your leadership. I want to focus on the things you have accomplished and how you got here. And I am getting the same feedback every single time. They're like, oh my God, thank you for not making me talk again about what I do. We want to share our stories. We want to share our growth. We want to connect with others on a human level, not just on a buy my stuff bullshit level. And that is where over the last month or two, the approach to the podcast has changed. As you can see now publicly, the name has changed because who I'm bringing in are leaders. And it's going to be mostly female leaders. I still will have some men on the podcast, simply because, first of all, I want to bring in a different point of view, but I'm bringing in mainly women because our story is different and the stories we are telling are different. The struggles we have are different. And I want to talk about how women lead, how women became the leaders they are today, and what kind of leader they want to be tomorrow. Because let's be honest, we lead differently than men do. Not a finger pointing, I'm not here to bash people. Let's keep this straight, we are all inclusive. But we simply lead differently. We don't just lead from our wallet. We lead from our personal as well as business experience. We lead from our emotions. We lead from our relationships. There is so much that comes in and determines the kind of leader women are, and it's so unique that I want to bring that up, that I want to showcase that, which is why she is a leader. If you've watched, listened, read past episodes of mine, yes, chances are Matthew Riven will be back. We already laid out another podcast episode where we want to talk about power dynamics. Yes, I will have men on the podcast because I believe they bring, at least the men I bring in a different perspective and a different voice and education to what we do. And I believe that we can only grow and evolve if we are stepping out of the circles we are in. And if I only focus on what's right in front of me, I can't grow. Are there certain things that I will not touch because I don't want to go down the rabbit hole? Yes. For right now, there is a good chance will be skipping certain political discussions, any kind of conspiracy theory, any kind of bashing. This podcast is supposed to be educational, bringing things from the subconscious into the conscious, and being supportive. Again, that doesn't mean I am not going to bring up issues and we're not going to talk about it. But I am not going to feed into the malicious rhetoric that is happening in so many different areas in the States right now. I want to live by example, so let's do that. And with that, happy anniversary to Boss Your Business, now being She is a Leader. I invite you if you are a listener, my application form to the podcast is open. I want to talk to you. I want to discover the leaders out there that are doing the thing and not always screaming from the rooftops. There's so many people that are making a change, that are having an impact, and they are not being heard because they're not like, whoa, whoa, I did this. Now, us should celebrate ourselves. That's a whole nother story. But if you are a leader and you are listening, the application form is in the description. Pop in. Let me know what makes you a new, unique leader. And maybe we'll just have you on one of the next podcasts. It is going to be a solo episode and guest episode mixed up, where I'm going to share stories like right now, how we came to change the podcast, the goal of Ask Evie, how me showing up as a leader is changing. And I want to invite you to join this journey. So go hit the follow button, go hit the subscribe button. We are on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. She is a leader. YouTube doesn't have the period in it. Instagram and TikTok does. And I really want you to join this conversation. Let's live by example and show others the unique power of female leadership. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye, everybody.